welcome into the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star. Today is Tuesday, August 2nd. It is a Tuesday, but we're going to pretend that it's a Monday because it's time for What Sold on eBay. Also, happy new month, everyone. I hope everyone is doing okay during the summer slowdown in the third quarter and is starting to get prepped for Q4. I'll have some videos in the next coming month or two on how to get ready for Q4. But we are almost at the end of the summer. We're getting into that end stretch of the summer slowdown, and back to school sales are starting. I talked about this in our Facebook group. Facebook group is called Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. If you're not in there, you should be. There's a link in the description box so you can just search for us. But I did a couple links in there about back to school supplies. And, if you've got kids' clothes, plushies, backpacks, stationery, lunch boxes, thermoses, any of that kind of stuff, guys, get it up now. And because it's a new month, you should also be reassessing your goals from July, and you should be setting new ones for this month. It's been a long time since I talked about setting goals and stuff like that, but you should always be reassessing. If you're not meeting your goals, there's a reason. Sometimes it's a reason that's outside of your control and your goals are too lofty and they need to be reassessed and brought down a notch. Some people are like, I want to list 50 items a day, but they've got 3 kids and they work part-time other than eBay. You're never going to hit 50 items a day. You're just going to kill yourself trying and always be disappointed and feel kind of bad about yourself. But if your goal is to list 10 a day and you're consistently not reaching it because you're farting around on Facebook and going for walks and getting distracted and not getting to it and sitting down to work, that's a whole different story. In fact, I'm going to make myself a note here because it has been a while since I've talked about goals and just motivational stuff, and I need to get a couple videos up because times are kind of tough right now for a lot of folks, and I know it's hard to stay motivated. Thursday, actually, at 3 p.m. Eastern time, I will be live with Kim she's my personal friend, but she's also a full-time reseller, and she works for List Perfectly as well. She'll be on the channel with me to talk about motivation, and then on Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern time, I will be live on the List Perfectly YouTube channel with Clara, the CEO, the co-CEO and founder, and Kim. And we're going to talk a little bit about mental health and how to stay sane. Basically, it's a taboo topic. A lot of people don't want to talk about mental health, or it's very easy to fall into depression or have any mental health issues you already have, like sprout up and become bigger when you work alone all the time. So we're going to talk about that. So tune in Thursday for motivation, tune in Friday for mental health. And then I made myself a little note here because I do need to make some more videos for goals and motivation. I haven't done any in a while. No particular reason. I've just been doing so many haul videos and what solds and stuff. So we'll get into those. And Q4. Need to do some on Q4. So I'm a day late today. I do apologize. We were busy yesterday. We actually were out of the house. We got up super early for us, like at 8 o'clock. And then once we were done with our shipping, we grabbed a bite to eat here real quick. And then we were out all day until we got home, and we were starving and just exhausted. So yeah, some stuff's happening, y'all. Nothing bad, but we'll keep you up to date. Okay, so moving forward, you came here for a What Sold video, not to hear Star talk about running errands all day and things that are going on in her life and upcoming videos, but we'll get into the What Solds then. So we're going to do like we do every week. We're going to start with the plush. I show you all the plush every week, whether it's 1 or 50. I show you all the plush because they're my favorite. They're my friends. They found their new forever homes, and they want to show off. Only 3 this week. So plush is still kind of slow. That usually picks up in Q4. And then I got just some highlights of the week. Some bolo, some bread and butter. We are selling a lot of bread and butter. I just want to make that side note real quick so that if this is happening to you also, you're not alone. We are having a lot of really great high dollar sales, like the expensive jeans and shirts. A lot of those are happening on other platforms, though. A few here and there on eBay. I show them to you guys every what sold video. I was going to say every Monday, but this week was a fail. But every what sold video, I do show you those, talk about them. But we're selling a lot of the remotes that are like $8 to $12, and a lot of the t-shirts that are up for like $10 to $15. I think that's just a lot of people's spending level right now with what's going on with the economy. But if you can do that in great volume, you're still okay. I know a lot of people like are really against that. But it's okay. Like that's how Keith and I built our business. When we were learning, we bought everything we could get our hands on for 99 cents and learned from that what was poop, bread and butter, bolo. And we built a volume-based business. And when times are tough and the economy is rough and people just don't have discretionary funds to spend, $50 on a shirt or $40 on a luxury brand of jeans, they're going to come on eBay and they're going to look for those used clothing pieces that are at their price point. They're looking for a bargain. They're looking for something that's affordable and still going to allow them to put gas in their car and buy groceries. So a lot of the bread and butter priced items are selling. And if you have them in volume, you're still going to be okay. You should have a mix because there are always going to be the folks that aren't affected by the economy. So you should have a good mix, which is what we have. And we are selling high dollar items, but we're selling a ton of bread and butter. And I do want to make a note that I said this already, but it's very important because it's super important. You guys don't have all your eggs in one basket. I preach that as well. Cross posting is so, so important. A lot of our high dollar items are selling on other platforms, and a lot of them are selling internationally on eBay. So if you aren't willing to sell internationally, maybe that's something you want to think about trying. And if the international shipping is something you don't want to deal with or just intimidates you, you can always use the global shipping program on eBay. They take care of everything for you. You literally just mail it to Kentucky, and their people take care of customs and the extra charges for shipping overseas. It's more expensive for your buyer in the long run. There are resellers who will only do it on their own. It's not something I want to fart around with. I've never wanted to mess around with it. So we use global shipping program, but to each their own. So just keep that in mind. Get your items on other platforms. Be willing to sell internationally. If you've always had like that attitude of I only sell things that are $50 or more, you may want to rethink that and try to sell things that people can afford right now. There's just lots of stuff you can do. So let's look at this Gans Webkins penguin. He is a Webkins, which are hit or miss. I talk about these all the time because they're one of my favorite plushies. You're going to find home runs. You're going to find expensive ones. Most of them are bread and butter, but I can find these for like 25 cents, 50 cents. You can get them in lots, like bags of plush at the thrifts and stuff. They're very inexpensive. And to me, they're worth it, even when they're bread and butter. And then there's always the exciting, fun ones you find. So you guys can see in the title, I put the code. I put their number and then whether or not they have a code. So this one was 50 cents. He sold for $13.99. He shipped first class. Then we have this dandy pink teddy bear. He came out of a wholesale lot. I believe he was like $1. Now, Dandy is another brand that can be hit or miss. There are some Dandy that are very, very high sellers. They fetch a high price. And there's some that are bread and butter. I love Dandy. I don't shy away from them either. This one sold for $13.99. He shipped first class. And you can see I put Valentine's Day as a keyword because he's pink. So I'm always thinking outside of the box when it comes to keywords. Next up, we have a little chick, and then you can see I used Easter here as a keyword. So Easter chick, spring, stuffed animal. He was 50 cents. He's not a very large plush. He's 7 inches. And he sold for $11.99, and he shipped first class. So those are the 3 plushies. We're going to get into the clothing now. So this Roebuck and Company, and then they have like a genuine Roebucks. They're all like older Sears brands. And depending on what you find, I just listed a Pearl Snap today that I listed for like $30. It had a different label and it was genuine Roebucks. It was vintage. This one is older as well. It doesn't fetch as high of a price. I just wanted to point that out. If you see the Roebuck, they're not all like, oh my gosh, home runs, tons of money. But if they're like $2 or less, we'll source them anyway. Even the ones that actually say Sears on them. Just look at comps, look at comparable shirts. If you're going to source them, look at the comps, compare it to your cost of goods, make sure it's a good choice for you when you're outsourcing. This one sold for $17.49, so this would be like a bread and butter shirt, and it shipped first class. Banana Republic. So this is a brand that's kind of poop. I always pass on it. Well, I shouldn't say always. I typically pass on Banana Republic. However, when I find men's jeans and they're priced at $2 or less, I will source them. And if they come to me in the ThredUp box, obviously I'm going to list them. But the Banana Republic men's jeans do sell for $20 to $25. They fetch a higher price, especially the ones with the names like the Traveler. 34 is a good size for men. So these were on our 30% off sale on the weekend. So they went for $21.87. They did ship in a padded flat. But this is just an example of there are brands that like are generally, if I could talk, considered poop, but there's certain things within the brand that are still okay. There's an exception to every rule. So while most Banana Republic may be poop, the men's jeans are okay, in my opinion, because I'm okay with bread and butter. Here we have a Tommy Bahama men's shirt. This is 100% silk. It has a nice print. Tommy Bahamas used to go for a lot more money. Unfortunately, and I have to plug this at least once a video, right? Unfortunately, folks like to race to the bottom and lower their prices, and they go into panic mode when they're not having sales and they lower their prices, or they just are too eager to sell their stuff first for that fast nickel, or they just aren't educated, or they just don't really search the comps. And what happens over time is that price just gets lowered and lowered and lowered and lowered until you can actually watch the complete and utter destruction and devastation of brands. And I'm being facetious, and overly dramatic, but it is true. Like, Lucky Brand jeans, when I first started reselling, you could list for 35 or 40. I start mine at 25 now, and I usually take offers of 20. So that's just one example. There's 100 examples. I talk about it all the time. It's my soapbox. And stop racing to the bottom. Stop being turds. So Tommy Bahama men's Hawaiian silk shirt like this maybe would have gone for 35 5 years ago, maybe $40. So we started it at 25 and we took a best offer of 22, shipped first class. A Sir Pendleton men's button front shirt. This is 100% virgin wool. Again, Pendleton is one of those brands that used to be high dollar. That's all I'll say. I'm off the soapbox. We found this. We went exploring a couple weeks ago, probably about a month ago, Keith and I. We just went exploring around the area that we live in and drove like 45 minutes away and checked out some thrifts at these other little towns around us. Made a day of it. And we found this little hole-in-the-wall thrift that had really good prices. And they had 5 or 6, might have been 7, men's Pendleton shirts all in a row on the rack, and they were like $2 because they were having different colored tags were different percentages off, and anywhere from 20 to 75% if I remember correctly. And they had like a whole dollar rack up front with a lot of good stuff. I found some men's Wrangler jeans and stuff. It was a cool little discovery, little hole in the wall thrift. We may travel out there once a month or so. Because there were a couple other thrifts in the area that were pretty cool. And, you know, if you're going to drive away like that, you guys don't forget you can claim your mileage for taxes. And if you're more, I think it's 100 miles away or more from home, you can claim part of your lunch and stuff. So, you know, make a day of it sometimes. Drive out and just explore, go to different thrifts and see what you can find. Like I said, we found like 7 of these. And they were like around $2. I think there were a couple that might have been 3. This is virgin wool, which is super important. Again, these used to go for so much more money. Anyway, we accepted a best offer of $25 and it shipped first class. Now we have Levi's 505 regular fit jeans. So the Levi's 505 is a good number that I will actively look for. I will seek it out and I will source it up to $5. Some of the 505s I'll start at a little bit higher price than this, but these were a size 30, which is a smaller waist. And these are regular fit. The inseam is 32, which is a good size for men. So these were $5 and they sold for a best offer of $30 and they shipped in a padded flat. Next up, we have these shoes. Oh my gosh, we've had these forever. They were 99 cents. And I did put shipping on them, which is why they're priced so low. I had them up for 18, but they went to 30% off on our weekend sale and sold for $15.74. At this point, you know, with the buyer paying shipping, I was happy to just have them sell because they've been around forever. I only picked them up because they were 99 cents and they were unique. Tahari's an okay brand, but these were gold platform. They got like the cork wedges and everything. I thought they were super cute and super unique. Size 8.5 is pretty good for women's shoes. But they just took forever and ever and forever and ever to sell. But they did finally. So they sold for $15.74. The buyer paid the shipping. I shipped it in what's called a shoe box, quite literally. It's a priority box you can get for free off of the USPS.com website. And I was happy to see them off to their new forever home. We don't have that many shoes left, and I'm not actively sourcing them anymore. They skeeved me out. I tried to get over it, out of my comfort zone. I did do shoes for a little while, but they just really... they gross me out. So unless it's something like I see that I know is like, oh my God, worth tons of money or new in the box, pass, hard pass. All right, one remote to show you this week. A genuine Sony Smart TV remote control. So this is one of those TV remotes that has the button for Netflix, the button for Google, all this good stuff going on. It looks kind of fancy. So when you see these ones at the... well, if you get remotes, you know, in lots, or if you see them at the thrifts, the garage sales, the church sales, they'll usually have like bins or buckets full of remotes. You can kind of search through them. If you're buying them as one-offs, you're probably going to pay 25 cents to $1 per remote, depending on where you're thrifting at. So I do try to show some good ones on the channel here once in a while, so you can kind of get an idea in your head of what you're looking for when you're digging through them at the thrift or the church sale or wherever you're at. So whenever they have fancy buttons like this, some of these are going to comp at like $8 depending on the brand, the model, and the actual remote. But most of them are going to comp a little bit higher, so you can check that out. This one sold for $21.87. And of course, it shipped first class. So that's the wrap up for the what sold on eBay, actually for the very last week of July of 2022, because it did end on a Sunday. So that was a nice little wrap up for the month of July. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please comment down below. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up before you leave. It really helps the channel out so much. And if you haven't already and would like to, please subscribe to the channel. Help us feed a hungry hippo. Until next time, go be productive, go make some money. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Y'all are the best. Bye.